I'm Hugh Collingbourne, Director of Technology with SapphireSteel software. In this video, I want to show you how to style a Flex application using Amethyst, our Visual Studio IDE for the Adobe Flash platform. Here I am previewing a version of Amethyst Professional which is still an internal beta at the start of February 2010 and which we plan to release as a public beta later in the month. In a previous video I showed how the Amethyst designer lets you design user interfaces by dragging, dropping, resizing and deleting controls. And once you've done that, you can set properties in the Visual Studio Properties palette. In fact, you can also set styles using the Styles palette. For example, say I want to change the color of a Radio Buttons text. That's done by setting its color style. I can do this in this color picker. I'll have one blue text button, and then I select the next one and I'll make that one red. And I can style other types of controls too. I'll select the text area, for example. First, I'm going to enable its drop shadow. And once I've done that, I think I'll set its corners to a sort of a rounded style by giving it a value for its corner radius. Notice as each style is changed, the controls on the designer display those changes. Now I'll change the shadow direction and I'll give it a larger offset, a shadow distance, to make the text area stand out more. And finally, I'll change the font size and I'll make it italic. So I enter a value for the font size and pick the font style. Now, of course, as there's no text in the box, you won't see these effects yet, but Amethyst has a trick to do this, which I'll show you in a few moments. You can also change the styles of the entire application. Its background gradient colors, for example. Fade from top to bottom. Now, to set this style, you just have to pick two different colors. I'm going to fade from grey to a sort of a deep purple. And in a similar way, you can apply gradient colors to a button. So I select the button, but this time, instead of two colors, there are four. There are four fill colors. The first two colors define the normal gradient. So I'll set a red color at the top and a greenish color at the bottom. And the next two colors are for the hover, the rollover colors, which appear when the user's mouse hovers over the button. Now, of course, in the designer, the button doesn't normally respond to mouse events the same way it does in a running application. So even though I'm setting these the colors 3 and 4, when the mouse clicks the control in design view, there's no rollover. It selects the control so that I can move and resize it, but the styles are not displayed. So how can I preview styles such as these rollover colors? Well, the trick is I go live. You see, I right-clicked in the designer and selected Go Live from the menu, and now, as I hover over the radio buttons or click them, they act as real radio buttons. And if I go into the text area and type some text, you'll see that the font effects, which I entered earlier, are displayed. So this is working now like a running application. And of course, I can also preview the button rollover styles. And once I've done that, when I want to carry on with the design, I just turn off Go Live. And now once again, I can drag, drop, snap and resize controls as before. And I can carry on changing the styles by here popping up the color picker again and picking more colors until I'm happy with the look of my application. Bear in mind that this has been a demo of the Amethyst Professional Beta, February 2010, and there may be differences in later versions of the software. For up-to-date information, visit the SapphireSteel software website at www.sapphiresteel.com.